I'm sick of having independent thought. Let's turn into a sim. First step is obviously making a Sims Plumbob, and I'm using this template I found online along with some thin strips of EVA foam. You just need wire and a headband. First step is to cut out the template 3 times. You can also use construction paper to keep it simple. I cut out each half of the template once and then used that to trace on EVA foam. This was for a Sims 25th birthday party that I was going to, and it really rekindled my addiction to The Sims. Next step is to fold along the dotted lines, which is easy if you're using paper. EVA foam doesn't take to folding super well, but you can also apply heat to shape it how you want. Normally with EVA foam crafting, you would want to use a heat gun, but for strips this thin, a hairdryer was working pretty well, and I could really start to see how these shapes would fit together. For the headband, you want to take the wire and wrap it around both sides and really give it a good base so it'll help hold up the Plumbob once it's on the wire. Overestimate how much wire you need because I had to keep readjusting this. I'm also using hot glue to glue the pieces together. Normally, contact cement would be better for this, but the desperation to become a sim was real. I wasn't sure how this would look with all those little tabs sticking on the back of the EVA foam, but it actually came together quite smoothly. Once you have half of it glued together, check if you left yourself enough wire on the headband. Make sure the top of the wire is bent at a curve so it doesn't just poke straight through. I didn't leave myself enough wire, but I was able to just readjust it around the headband to make sure it was tall enough on top for the full Plumbob. And then just go ahead and finish gluing all of your pieces together. Once you have your separate top and bottom halves ready to go, make sure all of your edges and folds are nice and crisp. You can use the hairdryer one more time because once it's glued together, it's not going to be easy to adjust the shape past that. I also decided to add a little bit of hot glue in the folds just to give them some extra support, but make sure you're not completely gluing those folds down. You can kind of pull it apart before it dries completely. Gluing the top and bottom halves together was a little bit awkward, but you can kind of figure it out as you go, and just be careful not to get any hot glue on the outside of the Plumbob. Honestly, it was looking so good at this point already. I could have just stopped here, but I wanted to be a little bit extra and use my Dremel on some of these edges with a light grit sandpaper, adjusting the speed as I went along, just to really make sure none of those edges were sticking out. You can really see the difference in this shot where I already Dremeled the bottom half and not the top half. Let me know if you see a difference. It's a lot more obvious in person. If you are sanding EVA foam, make sure you are wearing protective glasses and a mask. Make sure all the pets are out of the room because nobody needs to be breathing in this neon green dust. And now we are ready for the painting stage. I think the Dremeling really helped a lot with those edges. Normally you'd want to seal your EVA foam before painting, but I didn't really think it mattered for this project. I had this acrylic paint kit from Five Below, so I took out all the different shades of green as well as some white and yellow for some highlights. I was using a reference image of the Plumbob while painting to really help create those lights and shadows and kind of create the illusion of refraction on this diamond shape. And here is how it came out. Now when you're ready to put it on the headband, all you have to do is very carefully snip a little piece off of the bottom, just enough to fit the wire through, and make sure it's not poking through on the other side. And now I'm ready to live out my Sims dream, to figure out how to use the rosebud cheat, and then hope nobody takes the ladders out while I'm in the pool.